Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Hope everyone had a happy new year. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is another one of these fast-moving UFOs cruising across the landscape over Scotland. Also have this video that was recently uploaded in June, but this is from 2016 of some strange lights over Lake Michigan. Let's see, I got this off of Reddit of some strange lights over France in 2014. Also have this video of British police encountering UFOs. And I believe these were also only seen in the infrared. Let's see. Yeah, this is a video about Lou Elizondo basically complaining or, talking about his experiences getting pushback from people in the UFO community and the government. He basically says the same thing, that I'm saying about disclosure is never going to happen. And, and why would you, wait for this government, which does nothing but lie? Our leaders do nothing but lie to us. Why would you look to them for the truth? But anyways, interesting video. Also have this documentary here about Edgar Mitchell, just over an hour long. And this is the video that I was talking about in my previous post. This is Karen Hudes being interviewed, and in this part, she talks about the people who actually run our banking industry. And according to her, they're not Homo sapiens like us. They're a species called Homo capensis, basically the descendants of the people with the elongated heads. Anyways, we'll check that out. Let's see. Next is this article here from the Minot Daily News about military veterans urge truth told about unidentified aerial phenomenon incidents. Of course, the people in the military do see these things a lot, and they're always told to keep their mouths shut. And then let's see, last is this strange structure found in here in the Sea of Galilee. Giant monument at the bottom of the sea, as well as several mysterious structures. Anyways, we'll check that out. So let's go to this first video here. Now, in this one, like I think I've done 5 or 6 of these videos now. This little object here just goes speeding across the screen. So now let me just back it up a hair and you'll see this thing. Yeah, here it is right here. You know what I also noticed is, look at these people down here playing golf. So, how often does something like this happen? And things like this, this could be U.S. military tech. But anyways, link to this will be in the description. Let's go to this one here. This is from 2016, September 26. Mysterious bright UFO lights in formation over Lake Michigan. Anyways, that's that. This thing goes on for 5 minutes. And again, these sightings are nothing new. We have been seeing our neighbors for forever, for as long as we've been keeping track of history. We've been seeing these things. Let's see. Let's go to this one here. Yeah, look at that. There's a plane going by right there. And I think here's another one appearing up here. Anyways, this video goes on for 3 minutes, Link will be in the description. Check it out. Let's see. Let's go to this one here. This is a British police helicopter encounter UFOs and film them. And again, I think this is in infrared, but let's check this out here.
They eventually declassified an 8-minute video of the encounter. In it, a police helicopter, again from South Wales Police, spotted an object. Around 9 p.m., the crew noticed a black, round something. It only appeared in infrared, black in color, indicating it was emitting heat. Police later estimated it was flying at an altitude of just 1,000 feet above the water. NPAS was asked if it could have been a balloon or a drone. Neither were visible without infrared. It was highly unlikely to be a balloon as it was traveling into the wind. A drone is possible, but they were unable to keep up with it, so it would have had to have been very fast.
Again, we don't make drones that can't be seen by humans. We don't have that technology to hide something that can only be seen in the infrared. So that's ridiculous to even, use that or ask that question. But anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Okay, yeah, now here's this clip here with Lou Elizondo discussing some of his experiences with, getting pushback within the UFO community.
I personally don't want the government in my business any more than it has to be. I do not think it's the government's job to tell me how I should think or feel about this topic. I think the government's role should be very much relegated to that of the national security interests and protecting our national sovereignty and our borders. That's it. Anything that involves the psychological, philosophical, theological implications of this topic to humanity, you know what? I don't want my government involved in that. I want us, the people, involved in that. We need to determine what that means for us. And if we're waiting for a public figure like a president, who, by the way, is a career politician, to tell us disclosure is here, then I think you may be waiting a long time. I don't think we need that. I think we already have that. We already have Congress and former directors of CIA and directors of national intelligence and former presidents saying, yeah, it's real. It's real. You just had your disclosure. Congratulations. There it is. We still don't know what it is, and we need to figure it out. I tend to have a little bit different perspective. I don't think that a career politician getting up and telling the American people, whether it's liberal or conservative or anyone in between, that constitutes truth and reality. We know that politicians make promises all the time, and politicians fail to keep those promises all the time. Why are you looking to a politician to tell you the truth? That doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you why. Because most people are sheep brains. Most people are institutionalized, and they need a parental figure, a leader, to tell them what to think and what not to think. And, something else I also realized, that there are a lot of people within the UFO community who have made an industry out of disclosure. So from their perspective, they don't want disclosure. It's somewhat similar to like the cancer industry or the people doing heart disease research. Once you find a cure for cancer, well, there goes all the funding for the research. Right? Right now there are millions of people, right? Or maybe not millions, thousands of people who derive an income from cancer research or heart disease research. So once you find a cure for that, all that industry goes away. So, the reality is those people, don't really want to find cures. And I think it's the same thing with some of these people in the UFO community. I've heard people talk for 3 hours about UFOs, about all the videos that the military is releasing, about all of the new laws that are being implemented. And then, after talking about all that, they'll say, I can't wait for the government to disclose. And I'm thinking, you just spent 3 hours talking about UFOs. Why would you then need, like he says, a career politician who does nothing but lie to us to you expect them to tell you the truth about this topic, as opposed to just, using your own intellect and coming to your own conclusions based on literally thousands of hours of evidence? Again, it's pretty obvious to me that we are not alone on this planet. And there are some people who don't want to accept that. And I think it's similar to, well, right now, I think our planet or our culture is at the same point we were when people like Copernicus and people like Galileo were telling people, telling the population that Earth was not the center of our solar system. It was the sun, and they would present facts to all of the religious leaders. And, what happened? These people were condemned. They were condemned for telling the truth. And there were so many people, right, society who refused to accept that truth, that, that the sun was actually the center of this solar system and not Earth. And I think it's the same. We're in the same situation now where people have to get used to this new reality that we're not the top of the food chain, or, we're not at the pinnacle of intellect. Yeah, or, we aren't the most prominent sentient beings on this planet. People have got to accept the fact that, there are highly advanced beings. I think it's multiple. I don't think it's just, it's just one. I think that there are a variety of different advanced species that share the planet with us. And, I know Lou is trying to get that information out there, but like he says, he's still a government agent. He's still getting a government pension. He signed NDAs. There's things that he cannot completely reveal, but he's definitely alluded to the idea that, we are not alone on this planet. But anyways, I'm going to stop pontificating. Let me just get to this next video here. Yeah, this one is about Edgar Mitchell. It's over an hour long. I don't want to play. I don't want to get hit with copyright. I'm sure something like this will nail me. But anyways, link to this will be in the description. Now, this one here, this is what I spoke about her in a previous video, where she talks about the people who actually run the banking industry. And just a little bit of background on her. She was a senior counsel for the World Bank, or the International, the World Bank. And she had discovered some corruption in the Philippines or something. Well, when she reported this corruption, she ended up getting fired. She found out people were stealing lots of money that was supposed to be going to people, but instead it was being, kept by a couple individuals. And when she reported it, they ended up firing her. Well, anyways, after they fired her, she went out and started making these videos and doing these interviews about this secondary race called Homo capensis that supposedly runs the banking industry. And, after doing all these interviews and revealing this information, guess what? She got rehired by the World Bank. She got her old job back. So imagine that. Imagine getting fired from your job, going out, making videos, and revealing that there's a secondary species running the World Bank, and then getting hired again, rehired, and you get your job back. Right? Think about that. So anyways, let me just play what she says here.
Now, think of this as an elaboration on a larger scale, and what we're dealing with actually is humanity and the elite, the secret societies, the Vatican. They're traitors to humanity, because the one at the very core that's pulling the strings is a different species. They're not the human race. They're called Homo capensis. They have been on Earth together with humanity for before this ice age. And the reason I know about this is because I was trying to help out a movie producer who couldn't get his movie. It was called The Banksters Made Off with America, Edmund Dwele. And he introduced me to his network of whistleblowers. One of the people in that network is a neurologist who went to Yale Medical School and was retired. And he was trying to find out what was at the very core of all of this corruption. And
So you mentioned this species, an additional species of humans, or
no, they're not humans. They are so distinct from humans that if they were to mate with humans, their offspring would not be fertile.
Now, are you speaking of the biblical Nephilim is an entity that people have discussed and tried to understand for millennia, and that is the race of offspring of humans and the fallen angels from.
No, these are not angels. These are not spiritual.
Well, the Nephilim themselves were the offspring of the fallen angels and humanity. Is this the same
They
species?
are not fallen angels. They are critters. People who I am getting emails from saw them the day before. They look just like human beings, except they have these big skulls. And that is why in the Vatican, you see these crazy meters, is what they're called. And that's why the very first Jew, Moses, wore one of those things, because he was one of those Homo capensis as well. We have DNA samples of them. And the reason we know this is because it was in the papyri of one of the pyramids. I found this out from from the internet. But what is really remarkable, actually, is that we have had so much evidence, and we haven't had any studies into it. If you look at the archaeology, there is a civilization off the coast, because the sea level has risen by 400 meters. But what do we know about this ancient pre-Ice Age civilization? We do have a map that's left over from there, because it shows the coastline of Antarctica before the ice froze on it. And it's following that landmass.
Look, I can't play too much more of it, but of course, the link will be in this description. Now, yeah, she definitely goes down the rabbit hole and exposes, a lot of the inner workings of the ruling, basically the ruling class, the people who are actually or have been pulling the strings and being at the forefront of all the major events happening on planet Earth. But anyways, link will be in the description. Definitely check it out. Okay, next, I want to talk about this article here in the Minot Daily News. Military veterans urge truth told about unidentified aerial phenomenon incidents. 55 years ago, in September 1966, Air Force members from Minot Air Force Base experienced an incident in the Minot missile field in which a flying object took off alert all 10 of the nuclear-tipped missiles, causing them to be unlaunchable. About a dozen military members topside at the missile launch control facility observed the mysterious flying object with bright flashing lights hovering near the perimeter fence on that September night. Air Force official reportedly instructed the military members at the launch control facility and those who knew about this incident never to speak about it, and as far as they should be concerned, it never happened. Yeah, now, how often have we heard that, where these former military guys talk about seeing these things and then being told, they're not supposed to talk about it. So, I've asked this question before, right? If these crafts are from another planet, why would they be so concerned about our nuclear missiles and our nuclear facilities and our other military installations, right? They're concerned because, from my perspective, it's because they share the planet with us and they don't want us to ruin their home also. But anyways, let's go to this last article here about this enormous underwater structure in the Sea of Galilee is a mystery to archaeologists. A gigantic monument at the bottom of the Sea of Galilee, as well as several mysterious structures, including a gigantic stone wheel and a moon-shaped monument, were recently found in northern Israel. The mysterious structures have left archaeologists around the world bewildered. Who built them and what were they used for? See, about 8 miles, 13 kilometers northwest of the Sea of Galilee, a recently identified crescent-shaped monument was built about 5,000 years ago. Yeah, so again, this is more evidence to indicate that what we previously thought about our progression from prehistory, whatever, from primitive man to where we are today is completely wrong. I think that as the Homo sapien race was progressing, as far as us is concerned, there were other highly advanced species also existing or occupying the planet. And, and maybe they're the ones who now, went underground or, into these deep earth caverns. But there's so much evidence coming out now to indicate that, that there were highly advanced civilizations that were able to, cut giant chunks of stone, out of the bedrock and shape them into these incredible shapes. I mean, we can do these things now, but we have to do them with tools. So, I'm thinking, if there were people doing it back then, at the very minimum, they had to have had some similar tools and similar type of machinery that we use today. And, this is going back 5,000, 10,000 years, or, some places indicate that that these civilizations were creating these structures, much further back in time than that. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things